So we'll start with number 5 on this quiz. 7 times the complement of an angle minus 3 times the angle supplement is 22. Now, remember we talked about whenever we see the complement, we're going to call that 90 minus x, right, assuming that x is the angle. And whenever we see the supplement, we're going to call that 180 minus x because the angle and its supplement need to add to 180. So then we just translate 7 times the complement of the angle minus 3 times the angle's supplement is 22. And then you just solve this equation like we would solve any other algebraic equation. 630 minus 7x minus 540 plus 3x equals 22. Okay, 630 minus 540 is 90. And negative 7x and the 3x is negative 4x equals 22. Okay, so we get that negative 4x equals negative 68. And when we divide by negative 4, x equals 17. But the question says, find the measure of the supplement. So if x equals 17, the supplement is 180 minus 17, which is 163 degrees. Okay, number 6 says use the given information to determine if ray BC bisects angle ABD. So there are 2 different ways we could do this problem. The most straightforward way, in my opinion, is to use angle addition and add these 2 angles and set it equal to the whole angle ABD, which is 48 degrees, right? So if we add x squared plus 13x, we should get 48 degrees. Okay, so we know that that's a true statement, right? Because we can take angle ABC and add it to angle CBD and get angle ABD. So x squared plus 13x equals 48. This is a quadratic. So we set it equal to 0. We factor the 2 things that add to 13 and multiply to negative 48 are positive 16 and negative 3. So x is either negative 16 or positive 3. Okay, and we can strike out the negative 16 because that's going to make this angle negative, right? This angle over here is going to be negative if we use negative 16, so that's no good. Okay, so we're going to use the positive 3, plug it in here. If we plug positive 3 into x squared, we get 9. If we plug it into 13x, we get 39. So, no. Okay, because these 2 angles are not congruent. So angle ABD, angle ABD is not bisected because angle ABC and angle CBD are not congruent. All right, number 7, given that the measure of angle ABE equals the measure of angle DBC, so ABE equals the measure of angle DBC, and that ABC is a straight angle, solve for x and y. Okay, so we have 2 pieces of given information here. We have this piece of given information, and we have this piece of given information. And we also see that we have 2 variables, x and y, and that should be a hint to us that we need a system of equations. So we're going to write a system of equations from our given information. Our first piece of given information tells us that the measures of two angles are equal. So we're going to take the measure of angle ABE, which is 2x, and set it equal to the measure of angle DBC, which is 36 minus 2y. And then we're also told that ABC is a straight angle. We know that straight angles measure 180 degrees. So if we take all three of these angles here, 1, 2, and 3, we should add them up to get that straight angle. So 2x plus x plus y plus 36 minus 2y equals 180. Okay, and then we have our system of equations that we're going to solve. The first thing we're going to need to do is substitution is probably easiest. So we'll look at this equation and we'll rewrite it in terms of x. So we divide it all by 2. We get that x equals 18 minus y. And we could substitute that every time we see x in this equation. So 2 times 18 minus y plus 18 minus y plus 36 minus 2y equals 180. So 36 minus 2y plus 18 minus y plus 36 minus 2y equals 180. Right, we have 36, another 36 is 72, plus 18 is going to give us 90. And we have negative 2y minus y is negative 3y plus y, so those kind of cancel out. So we really end up with negative 2y minus 2y, which is negative 4y, equals 180. And solving, negative 4y equals 90. So y equals negative 22 and a half. Okay, and that seems a little weird to have a negative, but we'll just make sure at the end, once we find x, that it works. So we're going to use this isolated equation for x to solve for x. Right, so x equals 18 minus negative 22.5, which is 40.5. Okay, like I said, if we just double check, if we plug this in, 40.5 times 2x, okay, that gives us a positive angle here, so we're okay. And then if we substitute 40.5 and negative 22.5 into here, we get 40.5 minus 22.5, which is 18. And then if we substitute our negative 22.5 in here, 36 minus 2 times negative 22.5 is a positive 81. So we could, again, just triple check, right? 2x degrees is going to give us 81 degrees here, another 81 degrees here, and then 40.5 minus 22.5 is 18, and if we add those three numbers up, we do indeed get 180. Okay. This last one here, M is the midpoint of AB. T and R trisect MB. N is the midpoint of RB. Okay, so it's a lot of information here. And we need to use the information and just kind of mark up our diagram. So M is the midpoint of AB. So we can put a point right there, midpoint. T and R trisect MB. Okay, so we're looking at just MB here, right? And we want to trisect it with T and R. And then N is the midpoint of RB. Okay, so if we just look at RB here, we have a midpoint called N. Okay, and we're told that MT, that's right here, is 7x plus 2, and that NB is x plus 11. So the easiest thing to do here is to try to think to ourselves, well, how does this segment, NB, the length of that segment, relate to the length of MT? Okay, well, we should be able to see that this relationship here is that NB is half of MT, or in other words, MT is twice NB. So if we double NB, multiply it by 2, we should get MT, right? So if we double NB, we will get the length of MT. And then we just solve 2x plus 22, 7x plus 2, so 5x equals 20, and x is 4. But the question was not what's the value of x, it's find AB, right? First we solve for x, which we did. Now find AB. Well, that's this entire length. AB is this entire length. So you have a couple of options here. You could, once we solved for x, you could substitute it in to this expression for MT, and then just notice the relationship between MT and the entire line, right? MT is a third of half the line, so it's a sixth of the whole line. So we could plug in 4 here and multiply by 6. The other option would be to plug in 4 to x plus 11 and multiply by 12, because there's 12 of these little guys in the entire line. So I'm going to go with plugging it into here. Okay, 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 is 30. So the length of MT is 30, and there's 6 MTs in the whole line, so multiply that by 6 to get that the length of AB is 180.